And I think to start everything off in this session is maybe to explain a bit what are we doing actually, and who's Metalshub. I mean, we're not a global company. We're not a global corporation that has 100,000 employees. In fact, we're a proper startup, but in a very traditional industry, which isn't actually used to this kind of digitalization and the efforts that we're doing. So we are revolutionizing very much a very old-fashioned, very traditional industry, which is the metals and mining industry. So, and what you see here is already on the very first picture is some of the customers or users that we're dealing with. So what is Metalshub effectively? Metalshub is a platform for metals, a marketplace. So you can think about it a bit like Amazon. And the metals that we're talking about is not something that is coming out of a steel shop, etc., but it's actually raw materials. Raw materials such as nickel, chrome, etc., are very much traded on Metalshub. You might think now, what's new about this? There must be some metal exchanges already out there. Well, there aren't. The methods that we are talking about are really those that don't have an exchange, that are not traded over a stock exchange or a metal exchange, but are actually traded over the counter. And what we're providing is very much an OTC platform that helps companies, global companies, to actually buy and sell those metals. So they come really from a mine side, they get beneficiated there, and they end up, they come in all different shapes and combinations. And as I said, we're talking about metals such as titanium, vanadium, chrome, manganese, molybdenum, so everything that you most likely haven't heard of a lot of times in your life. But those are the key things that we're talking about. And it's a huge global market. We're talking about a market size of 150, 200 billion plus globally. And that's only the consumed metals. If you think about the trading, the churn rate is, and the turnover rate is sometimes 3-4 times. So we're talking really about a $500 billion market that is digitalized by Metalshub now these days. And they very much end, so who are the buyers on the platform? Those are really global steel companies, smaller foundries, medium-sized foundries that are buying those metals via Metalshub. What we are very much, as I said, a platform. Think of it like a bit like Amazon. So we've got sellers on the one side, global companies like Anglo American, Glencore, Traxys, etc. And we've got buyers on the companies such as Outokumpu, Saarstahl, Gerdau, that are using this platform for their purchases. We provide additional services around this, things like KYC checks, logistics, credit insurance, trade finance, and we extract, of course, from the platform pricing information. So eventually, Metalshub is actually a company that can also provide indices, and with that, giving companies the opportunity to hedge actually the prices of metals that weren't hedgeable beforehand. And that's very much as an introduction to Metalshub. This is what we're doing. Maybe some other things on top of that. We've been only founded 2 years ago, December 2016. And we started literally with a blank sheet of paper, 2 people, 2 founders, of which I'm one of them. By now we are 15 people. We're expanding into Asia, we're expanding into North America, we're expanding into Eastern Europe. And we've got over 300 companies already being registered and using Metalshub. It is literally a global business, and our main, our hub is Germany, Düsseldorf at the moment. But as I said, we've got already our first employee sitting in Singapore. We've got an employee sitting in Italy, and we're looking at expanding into the US later this year, and also India. So very much this is where we want to be. So we're looking for good people, ambitious people who like the spirit of working for a startup and entrepreneurial company rather than for a global corporate. And maybe to myself, as Dana said, I'm one of the founders of Metalshub. We're two of them. Myself, I've got a background in engineering. I'm a metallurgist by background, but my other founder, he comes from business, MBA background, and we are looking for people with diverse backgrounds, with different experiences, because I think everyone who brings a different kind of setup, different kind of experience to the table is more than welcome in Metalshub, simply because we benefit from those diverse backgrounds and experiences to digitalize a market that is currently very analog.